Here's the video help for the first graded homework in the spring semester of 2014 for Chem 101. And this first question is just a warmer-upper on significant figures. So in this particular problem, right, we have 0.00800, and as we've talked about the problems with the zeros, and in this particular one, all zeros with one non-zero, and we have a decimal place. So remember, the first rule is if the zero is holding a place, it doesn't count as significant. It just holds that place. So these two are keeping that 8 over there. And if we wrote that in scientific notation, it would go away. The other kind of formal rule here is it's a 0 to the right of the decimal, but not to the right of any non-zeros. So it is not significant. But then we get to that 8. Now, that's a non-zero, and if it's ever a non-zero number, it's got to be significant. But then we get to 2 more zeros, but these are to the right of a decimal and to the right of a non-zero digit. And so these are the ones that I say, I measured them, damn it. You've got to give me credit for it. So in this particular case, this has 3 significant digits, right? 800. That's different than 0.008. That has a different level of precision. It says I measured those 2 more decimal places. They just happen to be zeros. It's different than this one. This only measured to 1 more decimal place. They have differing levels of precision, and that happens when we have zeros that are on the right of the decimal and to the right of a non-zero digit. So that's question 1. So now here for question 2 is a problem I like to give you because it involves calculating significant digits on problems that you have to do calculations on, which is an important part of what you're expected to be able to do. So in this particular case, remember, we're going to simplify. So we've got 4.306 multiplied by 0.530, and then we're going to multiply that by an operation, 298 minus 278. That's the one we have to do the operation on first. We have to simplify that number. Now that's an addition subtraction. When I subtract those two, I get out 20. That's the answer. And then the next one is 530. That's going to be multiplied by that. 4.306 multiplied by that. The question is, we've got a 0 on this one. Is that 0 significant? Is that 1 significant figure, or is that 2 significant figures? Now remember, in the case of an addition subtraction, what we're doing is looking at where the decimal point is, and that sets our precision in our answer. These are both measured to the ones. 298 to the ones place, 278 to the ones place, and that means this is precise to the ones place. So this is a significant digit. Then the next step is to multiply these 3 numbers, and when we do multiplication and division, in that case we're looking to see the answer have the same number of significant digits as the one with the fewest number of significant digits, which in this case is 2. But it's not 1, it is 2. So that's going to make our answer, only one over here has 2 significant digits, and I'm not going to do this calculation. You have to do this calculation, but I'll bet it's going to turn out to be 46. I don't know that, but that's what I would guess. So this problem, it's very much like the last one. We're asked to do a calculation and then provide the right number of significant digits in the answer. So even in this case, you're given that the answer that comes out of the calculator is this one. So that makes it definitely all about significant digits and not so much about can you use a calculator. And that's almost always what these questions are going to be. So a long answer comes out of the calculation. What you have to do is remember where it comes from. It says this is an average. So in this particular case, we're going to average these 3 numbers, add that to 24, add that to 24.8956. That's in parentheses, and then divide that by 3. So it's going to be the same case where we simplify that number in parentheses, and that comes out to be some number divided by 3. Now 3 is exact, so it could be 3.0000, infinite number of zeros, so that is not going to influence the number of significant digits. This is determined by the number of significant digits in the numerator when simplified. This is an addition problem, so we focus on the one that is least precise, and this is measured to the ones. 24 is measured to the ones. The others are measured into decimals. So the least precise is going to be listed only to the ones place. You add these together, this has to be rounded to the ones place, and then we divide, and that's going to tell you what the answer is going to be. Maybe we should just do that. So this answer really turns out to be, comes out of my calculator, is 74.511867. But this is only good to the ones, so it has to be rounded to that number. And because that's greater than 5 or greater, this becomes 75, and it's divided by 3, and therefore the answer can have 2 significant digits, and that becomes 25 is the correct answer.